Hey guys, Kurgan here. So I've been getting a lot of questions about my UI and people wanting to import it. So in this video I'm going to be covering that. I'm going to give you all my ElvUI profile, my weak auras, and also going to go over the add-ons I use on top of that. So if you are already really savvy with UIs and just want to steal all my settings, go into the description below. I've got links to wago.io. And there's pages for my ElvUI profile, my weak auras, and also in the description I'm also going to put in the add-on list that I use for combat. Okay, so if you are less comfortable setting up a UI and need some help and some explanation, I'm going to explain it now. So first off, the two main add-ons which you're going to have to download is ElvUI and weak auras 2. These are basically what I use the most for my UI. So once you've downloaded ElvUI, you'll see it's kind of changed a lot of things from the Blizzard standard UI. But to get my profile, you need to go into press escape, go to ElvUI on the game menu, go to profiles and then import profile. And here now you need to go into the description of this video, and I have a link for my ElvUI profile, Why Can't I Talk? And you go onto the page, and on that page on the right hand side it has a paste bin which has a long code on it. You want to copy all of it and then paste it into this window. And once you pasted it there, you just press import now, and then you'll have your profile looking very similar to this. Once you've done that, then you need to go on and get my weak auras. So again, you need to make sure it's downloaded, and then what you have to do is type into your chat /weak auras. So if you're completely new to weak auras, you'll have nothing on this left hand side. So what you need to do is you have to go new and then import, and here you need to then go again into the description of this video. And for my weak auras, there are 2 or 3 pages which you need to visit. The first one is my general shadow priest weak auras, and that contains about a group of 16 weak auras, sorry, and you just need to post that code again on that right hand side of the page into here, and then once you've done that, you'll be able to import. Then there's also my insanity bar, which you'll have to do separately, and that's another link, and also then the shadow word death charges. So you'll have to import 3 codes into this page, but once you've done it, you should have 3 groups in your weak auras that has insanity bar and then shadow word death. So if you press this plus sign, you'll see all the different parts of it. So shadow, you'll get all these different, right? And then if you press the eyes on the right hand side of these little sidebars, you'll see pretty much the UI come to life, and this is what you're going to be mainly seeing while you're in combat, except for this dispersion one. That's only when you have dispersion activated that you'll see that. Okay, so now that you've imported all my settings and my weak auras, now I kind of need to explain my UI because it might seem a bit alien. So at the bottom here is the action bars. These are essentially all my keybinds. Now the point of it is that you place your abilities here and have all your keybinds, but you don't actually use these to kind of check your cooldowns, right? The point is that we have that covered with the bars in the middle. You see here I've placed Void Eruption, Mind Blast, Void Torrent, Dispersion, Power Infusion, and Shadow Fiend, but these are actually keybound down here. This is just a customizable display essentially, and also the other abilities which you might be thinking that we also have to track cooldowns for, like Vampiric Embrace, Master Spell, Fade, Mind Bomb. These all have weak auras for them that will appear in this area when they are on cooldown. So the concept is your keybinds are at the bottom and you kind of forget about looking down here, and then everything else is covered in this area below your character's feet. So instead of staring at the bars at the bottom of your screen, your area of focus is closer to the middle where stuff is going on. I don't know if when you import a profile it carries over the keybinds, but if it doesn't, or if you want to change the keybinds which I use and use your own keybinds which you're used to, then to change them you want to do /KB, and then it will put you into keybind mode, and all you have to do is then hover over the button and then press the key to what you want it to be. That's all you have to do. The other add-ons which I use for my UI, apart from WeChorus and ElvUI, are Details for my DPS meter, Quartz 3 for cast bar and GCD timer, and then also Tidy Plates for my nameplates. So the first of those add-ons which I want to talk about is Tidy Plates. Tidy Plates are a replacement for the standard Blizzard nameplates. You can see it working on this target dummy right now, and it generally looks just smarter, but you can customize it quite a lot. So if you go into interface, add-ons, and Tidy Plates, you have like damage profile, you have all these options to screw around with it as much as you want, and it also has like base templates which you can change. There's like 4 of them at the moment. One thing that I would really advise that you make sure your settings are set to is if you go to names in the standard game interface options, and make sure your nameplate motion type is on stacking and not overlapping. This is because if you have it on overlapping, if you have like a pack of ads, the nameplates will, like as it says, they will overlap, and you'll find it very hard to target them properly if you're trying to click on the nameplate. So make sure they're stacking, so they stack on top of each other, and it's much easier to target individual units. For Quartz, the cast bar add-on, if you do decide to use this and download it, I advise that you go through the options and actually disable a lot of it. So make sure player cast bar is enabled, but then go through target, focus, pet, latency, trade skill, buff, and disable those because you just don't need them, and they in fact instead end up clogging a lot of them. Also, enemy cast bar, you can have that on if you want, but I've disabled it because I use the ElvUI cast bar for bosses and targets. So the last add-on is Details. This is just a DPS meter like SCADA or Recount, but it has a lot of features, a lot of customizability, and it kind of is like a mini Warcraft logs that if you get used to using it, you can really gain a lot of information out of it if you want to. It takes a bit of setting up to do though. You really want to play around the settings and find what works for you best. You can also have multiple windows, which you can do with the other ones as well, but I like to do it as well. For example, you can have like current DPS and then overall DPS. So if you're doing like a Mythic Plus and you want to track who's doing the most damage overall rather than just on trash and just on bosses, you can have 2 windows tracking that at the same time throughout the whole dungeon. And yeah, that pretty much sums up my UI. There's not much more to it. So if you want to use it, feel free to take all the codes and import everything, and also customize it so that it fits what you're used to. I don't think it's the best UI, it's just a lot of people had been asking for it. So I thought I'd go ahead and make this video, so if people do ask the question again in the future, I can just link them this video so that they can take everything. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this useful. See ya.